and the Constitution is respected. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, as members of the Fair Agenda, ANC is a member of the Fair Agenda. We are just asking you, Mr. Speaker, kindly protect the institution of Parliament, protect the standing orders by ensuring that the list that was brought in yesterday is thrown out because it does not merit standing order number 20 of the standing order of this House. Secondly, it totally violates the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, kindly intervene and give us direction. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Leader Majority, you want to contribute to this? I thought it was... No,
Mr. Speaker, we don't want the chamber and your good office and chair to be turned into a family feud. We don't want this House. They have resisted outside. They have demonstrated. Now that we're happy the NASA Brigade are back in the House, the Speaker, they are bringing their resistance within themselves to the chamber. So, Speaker, as you give direction, I don't see the reason where you come in. There is no role for the Speaker here. The Speaker, Honorable Sifuna can only be protected by his party leader, who is a core principal within the NASA. And we cannot solve the problem of Musalia Mudavadi in the chamber. Neither are we ready to solve the problem of Kalonzo Musyoka, Moses Wetangula, from their problems with the Baba. Now that a government has been formed and an opposition is taking shape, Mr. Speaker, I really indulge Honorable Sivula to call a parliamentary group meeting of ANC and, in a honest way, reconsider that marriage. If a marriage is not working, Mr. Speaker, you divorce. Speaker, we don't want to be part of we don't want to be part of a divorce case that in the beginning we were not there. Speaker, we were not part of the marriage, and we were not invited to the ceremony where this marriage was being cemented. And as people who believe in God, Mr. Speaker, if there is a problem among the 4 family members, the best thing is, I think they're all grown up. ANC is a grown up. It has 14 members in the House. Baba has 71 members and they can agree to a formation. If you are not comfortable in the minority, we, the majority, are ready to accommodate you. We are ready. We will give you committee members. Come and form a coalition with us. We will even give you a share in government. You might even get a PS or an ambassador or a minister, which you cannot get it there. So, Honorable Savula, please take the message to Honorable Musalia Mudavadi. You have willing partners, people who want to build Kenya, who want to bridge communities and regions and tribes, is where Jubilee is. So if they have suffocated you and you are unable to breathe, there is a place where there's plenty of oxygen, where there's plenty of food, where there's a plenty of tolerance. In Jubilee, there's tolerance. In Jubilee, Mr. Speaker, there is accommodation. It's only in Jubilee where a pastoralist like me can lead. It's only in Jubilee where you see the face of a Luya, where you see the face of any community. So run away from ethnic capture. What we see in NASA is ethnic capture. It's ideological capture. So we want to come back. Please, Honorable Speaker, I really want to urge and put my word that the matter you are told to address, Mr. Speaker, is a matter which is outside the role and the function of the Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, you can as well still give unsolicited advice as a leader, as our Speaker. You can give advice to Honorable Sivula on how to survive in the next 5 years under the ethnic capture political party. And I want to thank Honorable Junet and Honorable Mbandi because of their capacity and because of their hard work and defense of Baba and the coalition. They didn't arm because of nothing else.
Well, I think, you've made references to many formations, marriages, which were consummated somewhere. I don't know whether in a mosque or in a church or in the forest or in Jivaji gardens. All those are places where you can consummate marriages. So I may not want to. Since this matter is recurring, having arisen yesterday, I'll give you a considered position of the chair, which is to reflect the traditions that have been there in the past in this house whenever there are these kind of issues. I don't think whether there is need for us to really debate this. We don't need to debate it. I'll just deal with our own traditions and the rules of the House. As you know, the rules themselves are anchored in the Constitution. That's why Article 124 says that each House of Parliament shall be at liberty to promulgate its own rules for guidance of its own proceedings and processes, both in plenary and in committees. So we will be guided accordingly. Unfortunately, I even want to leave the chair because I have, as you know, other functions that I must attend to. Honorable Nikal, you want to deal with that issue again of marriages and. No, but you know that if we don't want to deal with marriages, and then you are talking about even suffocating. Now this is a bit difficult. I'm sure this chamber is very well ventilated. I'm sure you cannot suffocate here. Can I give you 1 minute? 1 minute.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much. I said that as talked in this House first time today, I'm aware that there is a feeling that perhaps we are starting to work. And I often, and in the past, have not found it very easy to agree with Honorable Duale, but on this one, at the beginning of his statement, I think I want to agree with them that probably it may not be in order to bring this matter for the discussion. But having said such a honorable thing, he went on to actually take full advantage of the situation. There is no member here who is not wise enough or who is intelligent enough to know that as much as you are saying we should not bring it here, you go on to take advantage of a solace where perhaps there is none, and that may be in order politically. But I think, Mr. Speaker, we have to know that as we are sitting here, the state or this nation is not in a tranquility as we probably think. And perhaps there is need to be very cautious when dealing with such issues. Mr. Speaker, we have just come from an election where IBC failed tragically as an independent institution and went through an election that has left the nation so tragically and painfully divided, with the resulting election that has brought an outcome that cannot bring tranquility because a large part of the nation does not believe that the leadership is legitimate, even if it is deemed to be legal.
But does that same population now, because you are now introducing another dimension, Honorable Nikal, that same election you are talking about brought you here. It is the same one that brought you here.
Yes.
Now, you want me to adjudicate on the issue of
yes, Mr. Speaker, I'm coming to the point where you are. It is therefore important that we deal with institutions, and I agree with you that you will look at all the institutions that are in place. And I will also really call for calm that this matter, I don't think, has left the confines of the coalition, that the coalition is unable to deal with it. I think the coalition is still perfectly able to deal with it. So I partly agree with the Honorable Duale on that small aspect, but I've put the other aspect and agree with you that we leave this matter probably
of your matter. My responsibility after receiving that communication is to read it out to the House. Now, the member is raising it on a point of order, alleging violation of Standing Order number 20. So the best thing is I will look into the matter raised by the Honorable Safula and be able to give a communication.